crazy won't go away. I'm gonna happy pill. I'm taking it, I'm gonna blow it to the sunset. I'm taking it, I'm gonna blow it to the sunset. I feel it so.
But you are dealing with an evil streak in human nature. And evil men are just as good at using the latest technology, just as good at thinking it out and placing it at the most difficult times, the most difficult moment. And the fact is that we do live in a certain amount of danger. And if you're to carry out your job, we shall continue to live in danger. But we must never, never, never be stopped. Never be stopped from going among the people by a few men of violence, because that's what they want. And if they stop us, democracy would not be able to continue. And that's what they want too.
But just what effect do you think this increasing...
No, I think in a way it isolates the violence and unifies the people. People in democracy hate extremism. They hate violence, quite rightly, because they fear it. They want, above all, law and order. They know that the choice is between an orderly freedom or a kind of communist state or a kind of tyrannical state. And they want orderly freedom. I think some of them realize that no matter how many police, no matter how much equipment they have, there's always something that will get through. And therefore they also know that law and order isn't just a question for the police and the law courts. It involves everyone. Everyone has to be alert, everyone observing, everyone prepared to give evidence. And so I think when we get something like this, it has a very unifying effect on all democratic people in isolation of the men and women of violence.
Well, the very wise words of Margaret Thatcher. That was an interview 2 days after the Brighton bombing, where several of the members of things. Oh, let me cut stuck. Oh God. And that is what a leader sounds like. That is what this country sorely needs. Sadly, it's as I said, we're currently at a very, very dangerous crossroads. I'm also wondering why on YouTube we don't seem to be live. So yeah, so those I just thought I'd open with the words of Margaret Thatcher, as I said, just after the Brighton bombings, which almost took a life and seriously injured several people. This is when the IRA were at their prime. The IRA bombed their way by terror to the negotiating table. And now we have to suffer those insufferable arseholes in power. Now, I know full well that Margaret Thatcher isn't exactly the most popular thing or the most popular person with many, many people. And I understand that and I get that. I mean, there are some things that she did wrong. But at the beginning there, showing that status that it was, shows that is what a leader is. She knew she was in danger. Erin Eve, who got blown up by the IRA, was a very close friend of hers and an advisor. And what it is she recognised what our politicians don't. That if you're out in the public sphere, if you're out getting among the people and saying things that people aren't going to find popular, people are going to try and get rid of you. They are going to attack you. They are going to be nasty to you. But you can't stop. You must never stop. And that's also true for those people who speak out. Those people who come out and say, like I'm doing now, like Paz does, like the Reverend does, and many, many others, Angry Bootneck, many, many others who are now beginning to gain their voice, who are now beginning to say things. I know some of these guys have been going for 8 years saying stuff like this, and they've been vilified and attacked and called everything under the sun. And as somebody quite rightly said, there's a fear of speaking out, which is the point of what they've been doing. That's the point of all these new laws and enforcements, etc., coming through and coming on. That's the point. They want you to be scared of speaking your truth. Well, no, I'm not even going to say your truth because I hate that word, your truth, the truth, or just expressing your own humble opinion. My channel, I've always ever expressed my humble opinion and how I feel about things and what things are. I'm also fully aware that whilst you're watching this, if you do pop on the chat, YouTube's running behind. I don't know why. Yesterday it went fine, but it's running a bit behind now. So I do apologise. Hence the confusion right at the beginning. We've got to a crossroads. Now, most people have been saying, oh, in 20 or 30 years, this will become an Islamic caliphate. Hello, David. And yes, the willingness to stand one's ground, even unto death, needs to be reasserted. And I think that's what we all need to do. As scary as that is, because it is scary, let's be honest. But we do need to make a stand at this crossroad. Now, I know full well that I've spent a while talking about, stuff on YouTube. I've been talking about Doctor Who and things like that. And slowly but steadily, I've begun to move away that because I realise now, more than ever, that we're in trouble. We've been in trouble for years now. We really have. And we've had our heads buried in the sand for far too long. And what we need are voices. We need people to stand up. Now, the simple truth of the matter is what Mrs. Thatcher said there is true. They want us to be quiet. They want to destroy democracy. They don't want us to say anything. They don't want us to do anything. All they want to do is they want us just to stick our heads in the sand. And it can't be ignored anymore. It really can't be ignored anymore. And you have to, realise that we're screwed if we don't do anything. It's not too late. But the problem is it's going to get a lot worse. It genuinely is going to get a hell of a lot worse. And the problem is a lot of us don't mind it being worse if it's going to get better. None of our politicians have that warrior spirit. They're all jumped up shopkeepers. Correct, David, correct. Especially now we have nothing but cowards. I understand that the politicians understand that with the current Muslim way of things, they vote en masse. So you have to bow down to them. That's what they've been doing. They've been bowing down to them because they're frightened. They're frightened of losing the vote. Labour especially are frightened because, let's be honest, if the Muslim vote went against Labour, Labour's dead in the water. I will envisage Robert Payne. Hello, Robert. Welcome to join us. Any things that atheists, non-Muslims, just will let Islam take over. People do not know. At the very least, civil disobedience would ensue. There will be blood. And that's the frightening thing, because eventually people are going to have to stand up. People are waking up. People are beginning to see. Now, the politicians are now fearful of Islam. And all I will say is, welcome to the club. We've been suffering this for years, and you've been calling us everything under the sun. David, we have our right to resist criminalisation. Even speaking dissent is prohibited. We are at the point where action is required. We can't speak, and we need to act. And all our laws have been designed to prevent that. We're, freedom of speech. Now, I am a fervent believer of the freedom of speech. And I understand, which is why I always say, I always respect everybody's opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. and I will defend that right to opinion as much as I can, because you have the right to say it, but I also have the right not to agree with you. But the thing is, whereas I've had people wishing me to extinguish my light, I didn't say that because I'm not like that. But we are in trouble. If Labour rely on the Muslim votes, they aren't a political party. Well, they haven't been. They've been relying on them for years. And what they're more fearful of is the Muslim groups making their own political party. And of course, they'll get votes en masse because a good Muslim does what the Imam tells them. So if the Imam says you'll vote this way, they vote that way. Especially the women, of course, because they have no choice. Here is the mind killer, which explains the current crop of my politicians and a lot of other people. We've allowed fear to suppress us too much. We've allowed, and they've used this fear that they've generated to create the laws that prevent us from speaking out, from saying something. Those people who have, I'd rather prefer disagree with me than not have the freedom to have my say. Well said, Robert, sorry. That's absolutely spot on. We have to do something. People are waking up. We tried to warn them. They called us racist. Yep. We've been called racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic. We've been demonized, ostracized because we are not allowed to speak. I mean, we've just had this simple thing with the Google's AI generator that will only generate people as black people. And it does make it quite obvious that people like me are not important anymore. I mean, I've been told for many, many years that, let's be honest, I am the root of all problems. I am a over 50 white male straight guy who's, yeah. And I'm the reason, the basis for all evil. Now, we all have children. I have children. If you don't have children, you might have grandchildren. I can't let this country go down that path. You know, we have to understand the situation. The thing is, the reason I'm going careful, I have to be careful what I say. Again, which is wrong. That's another thing that's terrible, is the fact that you have to check yourself, because you have to be careful what you say. Because if I'm not careful what I say, this video won't last very long, which is wrong. It's suppressing my ability to give my opinion and my freedom of expression. You can see those people who have spoken out in the past and how they've been suppressed and oppressed. Yesterday's live stream, I really enjoyed doing, and it was great to see a lot of people in the chat who feel the same way. But this is the problem. If you feel the same way, if you're watching this on catch up and you feel the same way as what's been said in this video and the one before, say it. I mean, technically, this is a call to verbal arms, one would say. We need more people shouting. We need more voices. We need to be loud. See, because that's how the left, and especially the Muslim people, work. This is how they work. They shout the loudest, and we just sit in silence. You know, the infamous silent majority. Yeah, well, it's time. Hi, JD, John. Nice to see you, mate. Welcome aboard. We're the silent. Well, there is a silent majority. They keep calling it the silent majority, and that's because that's exactly what it is. A lot of people will just sit with your head in the sand and pretend that what's coming. I mean, come on. We all knew, 20, 30 years in the near future, this country was going to be in trouble, as in an Islamic state, no doubt. Except it's happening now. I don't think there needs to be aggressive reaction, just saying, no, I'm not doing that, when they insist on certain things. We need, yes, but I'm not calling for aggressive reaction. I'm never calling for violence. Violence solves nothing, except, of course, if you're Muslim. Shout, let it all out. Yeah, welcome, Kruab. They're allowed to do that. they're allowed to intimidate. They're allowed to use violence. They're allowed to say whatever they are. They're allowed to walk down the streets of London flying ISIS flags, which is against the law, while the police stand by. They're allowed to project a genocidal message on the side of Big Ben, and apparently that's okay. No, I mean seriously, that's okay. That's what they reckon. And just to sort of bring that up, let's just see if I can get this up on the screen, because it's not that easy to do, because it will not. It's refusing to be acceptable. The Met Police. I'll actually read it because at the moment I'm having a bit of technical problems. What they actually said is, this is the river to the sea, and this is what the Met Police said yesterday. This is a chant that's frequently heard at pro-Palestine demonstrations for many years, and we are very aware of the strength of feeling in relation to it. While there are scenarios where chanting or using these words could be unlawful depending on the specific location or context, its use in wider public protest settings, such as last night, is not a criminal offence. Afternoon, John. Welcome. That's what they said. They carry foreign flags, yet the cross of St. George is banned. Yeah, exactly. This is the other problem that we have, which is the two-tier policing system that's currently available in London, because that's what's happening. Let's be brutally honest. There's a two-tier system. I mean, I think it was 2 demonstrations ago, someone was actually flying an ISIS flag. The police went over and said, "What's that?" And he went, "It's a religious symbol." And they went, "Okay," and walked away. They've picked their side. It's illegal to project anything onto the side of the Houses of Parliament. That's against the law. But no, that's okay. I mean, you couldn't miss where the projector was. It stands out like a sore thumb. But no, that's fine. Plasticine isn't the sort of plasticine. It is really, to be fair. It really is, to be fair. But the thing is, they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. What happened in Parliament yesterday has said to them, you can do what you want to do. The police, Sadiq Khan, down in London, allowing them to do what they want to do. We all know that if we went in at a demonstration, and we've seen it 1,000 times before, the police would not turn up in high-vis vests and stand there and do nothing. They will be there in their riot gear. We will be arrested. We will be kettled. We will be pressured. We will be blamed. This is the crossroads we stand at, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, I've tried to be not, tried to step around it, because you know what's coming. When you stand up and say these things, when you stand up and say enough's enough, when you definitely lift your head above that parapet wall, you know what's coming. You know the hate that's going to come your way. You know they're going to come for you. But the simple truth of the matter is, and this is the simple, honest truth of which you've got to be aware, is if this does become Islamic State, and remember that if they get enough councillors in and they get enough people in position, once they hit that 50%, there will be a vote on Sharia law. And if the Sharia law vote does come through, which it will pass, because obviously at 50% we can't stop it, because a lot of us will still be, well, a lot of people will still be sitting there with their heads in the sand. People like me and Lawrence Fox and Tommy Robinson and thousands of others, we're dead. And there is no way to say this at all. In my opinion, these things are allowed to happen because the powers be wish to institute change, a major shift. They're doing what they're told. Those that are in power are cowards, are traitors, and they are committing treason upon this country. It's as simple as that. They're doing what they're told to do. WEF, WHO. They're told what to do. We now have an installed dictator that no one voted for who's in charge. But if it comes to the fact that we get to a stage where Sharia law comes in, anyone like me, I'm finished. and you have to come to that acceptance. And to all the women that watch, and if you do watch, thank you. You think transgender men taking part in your sport's going to be your problem? Because once it becomes Sharia law, you'll have no life because you have to do as you're told. And if you don't, well, you can look on the videos and look on YouTube and Twitter what happens to people who don't do as they're told, especially if you're female. You can forget your education. You can forget dressing how you want to dress. You can forget everything. And for the rest of us, we can forget parties. You can forget alcohol. You can forget everything. You just do as you are told. And you don't dare speak out. Installed Prime Minister, installed Chancellor, installed Foreign Secretary. Correct, John. 100%. 100%. I file 13. Welcome. This is where it is. Oh, and a replaced Home Secretary. Correct, because the other Home Secretary wasn't acceptable enough. We have a government that's installed that none of us voted for. No, I mean, not even the membership of the Conservative Party themselves voted for the people that are now currently in charge of our country. And they're running it into the ground. They've installed idiots in our armed forces, which are I've just done a video just yesterday about the new Lieutenant General who's in charge, who thinks that laughter yoga is the best way to get people ready for combat, who is instigating reduction of security checks, because, of course, that'll work. We're in trouble. And the thing is, what we have to do is we have to accept the fact that people here, all of us on here, are saying things like this. If Sharia law does come in, because it will do if we don't do anything about it, almost makes voting sound irrelevant. Voting is irrelevant because there's no one who stands for us. Every single political party has been infiltrated. Every single political party will kowtow to the vote. As I said before, I mean, everybody goes, oh, vote reform. Reform are just controlled opposition. Reform are fooling us all into believing that if we get them in power, they'll make things different. They won't. I mean, I'm sure John there was a guy who went to Hustings yesterday for reform, and he was convicted of sex texting a 17-year-old kid. These on the reform is not the people you think they are. They really aren't. Tory members didn't get the memo, just kept elected Tories. Yeah, exactly. How much time do you think the UK has got? We're doomed, mate. I'll be honest. I think we're in trouble. After what happened in our parliament last night, and how they're still going on about it now, because they really do genuinely think, instead of concentrating on our country, our problems, our homeless, our cost of living issues, instead of concentrating on our country, and when there was a vote about our borders, about 30 of them turned up. But when it's a vote about bleeding Gaza, no offence, they're not going to fucking listen. Hamas don't give a shit what our parliament thinks, and nor does fucking Israel. But when that vote came on, they all fucking turned up. Every last single one of them. Sharia law is here. It has been for years. Yes, John, it has been underground. Yeah. And, if you let's go for acid Azidi, who they apparently have found. Yeah. Yeah. Acid attacks are on the increase because it's revenge. So it starts with local takeover, parallel justice system. Correct. I mean, we've had judges. We're infiltrated. They have infiltrated everything. We have no police service. We have no justice service. We have no political thing. Our politicians are scared because they finally realised that everything that most of us have been banging on about, for years and years and years and years, and getting called everything under the sun. Hiya, Daz. Hiya, XSM. Thanks for joining me. All the years that we've been saying this is a problem. You're racist. Yet here we are. And now it's on their doorstep. Now they're experiencing it toe to toe. They don't like it, but they're stuck. And they're cowards. As I said, I started this live stream with a clip of Margaret Thatcher saying that we should never back down. We should never stop. And that's true. We should never back down. We should never stop. XSM just put up, I hate that people think I'm overreacting, still come out of crap like I'm wearing it. To me, mate, we're all conspiracy theories. Sounds like the USA. I hope everyone is recognising it's happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere, mate. It is happening absolutely everywhere in the Western world. We are being taken over. I remember that replacement theory. No such thing. Really? There was a thing on local news, my Birmingham news. They went to a school because they were talking about misinformation on the internet. There was not a single white kid in the class. Not a single white kid in the class. I saw that. Black German World War II soldiers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the acid guy, totally believable to turn up in the river. Yeah, well, he never did he? Let's be brutally honest. The country a decade or two after the Bowen Revolution, speeding and takeover. Absolutely, unless people say no, of course. I know it seems that there is little hope in democracy. There is none. I still maintain that yesterday democracy died. The second they showed to the idiot mob outside, the hate mob, the violent mob, the disgusting mob, the mob who can say and do whatever they want because they're not touched, because no one has ever dared go, no, you can't do that. Second that happened, we lost. But we must remember these issues are being off the political agenda. Exactly, because we don't want to talk about it because they were just kowtowing to the vote. The thing is forced into an agenda, the chance to change the whole narrative. Nothing will change. They spent 30 years turning discourse and even laws against us correct. Any attempt to stand up, you get smeared, debanked, and arrested. So what are our options? Our options are running out. And that's the problem. Good afternoon, Herman. Nice to see you here. The West is done. And it's had its day, and they want it over. We've lost. Everybody talks about World War III with Russia. We've had World War III. We're losing. In fact, we've probably lost without a shot being fired. And if you want to know why they'll allow immigrants to come in and why they'll allow this religion to come in, because this religion is an obedient religion. It does as it's told. And the world upper echelons wants a society, a populace that will do as it's told. They don't like us. They especially don't like the English, because we never do as we're told. We always stand up. We always fight. We never give in, except now, because we've allowed this to happen. And we've allowed this to happen. Not all of us. A lot of us have spoken out against it, and a lot more need to speak out. But I don't know what's going to happen. Our options are limited. And I also have to be careful what I say about the options that are offered to us. But the thing is, we are being bullied into submission. Now, I don't know about you, but you don't solve a bullying issue by going, oh, it's okay, mate, whatever you want. Yeah, that's right, Herman. We don't do as we're told. We're historically famous for never doing as we're told, ever. It won't happen in our lifetime. Doing British people wouldn't stand for it. You say that, John. Yet here we are. We're here at this crossroad. That's why I called it. We're at the crossroads. We genuinely are at the crossroads. The British people won't stand for it. Where are they then? If we're not going to take it, if we're not going to stand for it, why is there only a sporadic bunch of voices saying, we need to say no, we need to stop this now, this needs to end now? Why are there just a few of us speaking out? Hi, Dave. Nice to see you, mate. Love the song, by the way. Love it. WF don't care about Islam and religion. Islam is the flavour of the month. Well, exactly. Except, of course, the problem is with the WEF is they're like our politicians have done. They've presumed that that Islam is going to treat them well. You know, as I said before yesterday, you know, if you put up the old BLM posters when there's a riot, just hopefully they won't rob my store. This is the same sort of thing. But the simple truth of the matter is, they're using people, and once you become useless to them, you're gone. You really genuinely think they're going to look after you? They're going to see you as scum. We tried Biden for a British leader mixing. Right, I hope you gain. I don't know. We need some way of networking locally. They want us to feel alone. Again, they do want us to feel alone. Problem is, of course, is we have to find a way of doing it where other people can't get in to listen, because they will try and stop us. They are going to try and stop us. We are the last bastion of common sense. Yes, but common sense isn't solving anything. Now, the thing is, afternoon, Yvette, nice to meet you. Hope everything went well, Yvette. I really do. Hope things went well. The thing is, I don't want to be saying this. I shouldn't have to be saying this. A lot of us shouldn't have to be. I mean, I've come to the conclusion now. I might as well do something about it. I might say something because, yeah, BLM still rob those stores. Exactly. And that's my point. By trying to appease a bully, it doesn't solve anything. They just do it any case and laugh at you even worse. The simple truth, yes, they will send in infiltrators. Of course they will, mate. Well, you know, the state's already, the police in the state is already stacked against the CDZs. And the thing is, it's like now I'm above this, my head's above this parapet wall now, and I'm going to get shot at. I know that. I understand that. But the simple truth of the matter is, I see if I don't do it, I can't stand by and let this happen to my kids without them at least having the knowledge that I did something, tried to do something about it. I tried to say something about it. I tried to speak up. And the thing is, you know, you will lose friends. People will stop speak to you. People will see you as evil because that's how you're portrayed. You're portrayed as some horrible thing. And what I've got to now is I've got to say, I mean, this is why they're going on about, oh, the war in Ukraine. This is why we're going on, oh, the war in Russia. It's a distraction. Yeah. They've popped smoke. This is what it's all about. This all pontification about Gaza. It's just, they've just pulled the pin and lobbed the smoke out. They're just not interested. All this is draw attention. All this, oh, we're going to fight Russia. This draw attention from that. The guys who are in charge, the guys and girls who are sitting in that building or standing in that building, now terrified of things, are shit at their job. They have only ever been self-serving idiots. They don't care about you or I. So what they'll do is they'll do all these sort of amazing things. Yeah, all these amazing things. Look what we're doing. It's like, oh, we're going to ban mobile phones in the schools because that's what's important, but we'll let them keep teaching and brainwashing our children to think wrong. As I said, there was a local thing on there, on my local telly, about teaching kids about misinformation. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, people don't trust the news. We don't trust the news because we know they lie to you. The media's all part of it. We're all getting brainwashed. We're the French resistance. We're hiding in our basements and talking in secret. But the problem is, nowadays, this is the whole idea of getting rid of pubs. The whole idea of getting rid of pubs is every good revolution starts in a pub because they can't monitor that. They can monitor us on here. They can watch this. They can monitor us. They can monitor us what we're doing on Twitter. They can do everything like that. Hello, shield wall. Yes, exactly. Smoke and mirrors. Popping smoke left, right, and centre, so we keep us confused. Can't for the hundreds realise that as soon as the LGBT flags start being burned on the streets, people who are LGBT and screaming for acceptance and, you know, free Palestine don't realise that they'll be the first ones to be wiped out. I think it was Tony Bennett said, if voting changed anything, they'd abolish it. It's very true indeed. People in the 20s and 30s have been indoctrinated in multicultural nonsense. There's only a few in this age group that see what it is. It's the over 40s that will have to lead. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to dust our stuff off. I'll make no attempt to hide my views to anyone. I speak in real life. I don't care what it makes them think about me. It's their reactions to my opinions that I wait to see engage. More than often, people agree. This is the thing. I'm here now, and I know full well that when people listen to this video, the vast majority of people will agree. They won't say they agree. And this is the problem. This is what we need to do. Stop going, oh, yeah, nodding. Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah, well done. Well, say something then. Get out on social media and say something then. Because if you don't, you're pointless. You can sit I know it's horrible, but the simple truth of the matter is, if you just sit there and agree with people and just nod, oh, yeah, you're doing this, and not do anything, what use are you? We need to become louder. We need to be noisy. We need to start standing up and speaking out and shouting out. No, but the thing is, I get it. I do. I understand, because you are going to be a target. You are going to be called everything under the sun. Agreed. Never appease a bully. You can't appease a bully. You have to stand up to them, because if you don't stand up to them, they keep coming, and they're going to keep coming, and they're going to keep coming. And now all these lunatics have seen our parliament fall apart because of the pressure they're putting on something that's got fuck all to do with this country, fuck all to do with anything. They don't care. Neither side's going to listen to how we think. They don't give a fuck what we think about them. They're just going to do what they want to do. And the thing is, we do this. Sometimes enjoy limited with the revolutions that assist them first. Absolutely. If you're out on a march, free Palestine, and you're white, and you got your banner, and you really genuinely think you're saving your own neck? Because you're not. You'll be next. The Reverend said it quite well. If you think it's bad now, you wait, because it's going to get worse. A lot worse. I mean, I've just seen today there's a guy being done, a left-wing terrorist who's going to blow things up. And then you go on Twitter, and what's the top Twitter thing that's currently trending right now? Shall we have a look? Just bring it up a bit. Yeah, there we go. Top one. Oh, look, far right. Far right. What a surprise. So, why is it? Should we have the rise of the far right? Here we go. Of course, still a far right racist, but yeah, here we go. So the far right. And then for some unknown reason, the moon landings. I don't know. It's just unbelievable. But we need to do something about this, guys and girls. There is no choice anymore. We have to stand. We just have to stand. But as Daz said quite right, how? Options are limited. I don't know what we can do. I haven't been on Twitter today yet. Don't worry, mate. It's still the same cesspit as it always is. I mean, Twitter is free, I guess. Freedom of speech, and I can say stuff more than I used to without. But even then, I still get moon landings is awesome. Back down in 50 years, finding water. Indeed. Imagine that. Took 50 years to remember how to do it, though. Any case, yeah. So if they say it enough, it becomes true. If it isn't far right to want to preserve your country and a way of life, and that is what we're going to lose. We're going to lose it all. And the problem is it's not going to be me. It's not going to be several of us. Water equals air, water, fuel equals exactly, mate. 100%. That's amazing why we never went back. Oops, not the moon. Won't comment. Okay. No worries. I understand. There are conspiracy theories. Well, the thing is, that's a new thing, isn't it? Oh, conspiracy theories. Except what's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? About 6 weeks at the moment, in any case. I mean, don't forget also, Islamophobia is trending on the X side panel. Moon landing was that private touchdown last night. Yeah, I know. But Islamophobia will be trending because, I mean, that was the big thing that was on the news. There's been a rise in Islamophobic incidents, up 33 or 300% or something, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they don't mention the massive rise of anti-Semitic hate. They also don't mention the fact that being white and people being racist against us is not right. The nation gifted us by better men. Our responsibility to preserve it, improve it, so we gifted our children, not throw it off a cliff. That's another reason why I started speaking out. Look, I'm not proud of what I don't want to give this to my kids. I don't want to pass this on to our kids. This is a mess, an absolute mess. It's far more important than what we are lost wasting ourselves on stupid wars. I absolutely agree. I missed a lot just on the door on the phone telling me they're taking my money away. Oh dear, mate. That's not good at all. I believe the solar system is out there and our future depends on it, and God loves big balls, absolutely. He was a favoured one, but not for long. Well, the simple truth of the matter is, and again, this is another reason why I've got to come out and say this, we got to do something. And it's no good going with the politicians we got because they're just, I mean, you've just seen them. You all saw them live on TV. What a bunch of snivelling cowards they are. Scared now because their bubble's going to burst. Because after years and years and years of destroying us, it's now on their doorstep because they genuinely believed that if they kicked the can further down the road and if they just kept appeasing these people to vote for them, things would be fine. Things would be awesome. 6 weeks, it seems like 6 minutes now. I know, mate. I know. It's just I'm not a religious person. I mean, a lot of people who know that. But I have loads of time for people who've got their beliefs. If you've got your beliefs, you got your beliefs. It's not for me to insult or mock them, really. Um, you do you, and that's happy. They're the lies that hate being mocked. Everybody hates being, yeah. But the thing is, it's like a bully. A bully hates it when you turn their violence against themselves. That's all I'm going to say on that. You can read between the lines because again, got to be careful. Got to be careful. If I need to speak out and I need to say things, then I need to be careful because I know people are going to go for it big time, and I'm sure somebody will eventually do something about it. But Robert Fan, we haven't got politicians. We've got elected self-deluding meaning nits. No, what we've got is people who have been put there. Politicians aren't politicians. I hate all politicians, and it's even down to the the local policies that just get my head. They've got their cake and eat it. Now they've only scuff it. Tastes like shit. Yep, life shit, and they'll just keep making it shit because while we're all focused on trying to make ends meet, trying to feed the kids, trying to keep the electric going, trying to keep the gas going, keep ourselves warm, we're not paying attention to the fact that our country is slipping away from us. That's what the biggest problem is. It's the fact that the smoke and mirrors popping smoke left, right, and centre. We just, you could probably tell the frustration and anger in my voice. I'm trying to stay calm and measured. Political pressure to feel off workers' sweat. Well, yeah, always has been. The thing is, it's always been the same. I mean, we can't kid ourselves that the elite has always fed off us. That is just the way it is. It always is. But this is something different. This is something a lot more different. This is literally everything this country stood for will be gone. And how people can try and justify that, I just don't get. I just don't get it. What we need now is independent people in politics. We need people with brains, people who haven't been bought, people who aren't scared. We actually need people with a backbone and a pair of bollocks. And probably get told off now. We need more men in politics again. And there is a reason for this. One truth is they say think of the children only for them. It's a sick and twisted thing. Well, yeah, and then those elites think of children in a different way. I mean, this is the whole thing with it. Comes down with your gendering and your pronouns and your transgenderism and all this sort of stuff. It's just done to confuse children, so they actually don't think. They're that confused about everything that's going on, just as can't even identify who they are. They're that busy being focusing on all that they're not interested in anything else, and they'll just do as they're told. Whenever I encounter a Karen or sheeple, as young by reversing the question, it seems to shut them every time. However, these people aren't interested in learning anything. This is the problem. These people are only interested in their viewpoint and their viewpoint only. And their ideology is, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to threaten you. And if that doesn't work, I'm actually going to kill you. Now, do as I say, or I'm going to do. And this is how way back then, which is why I started with old Margaret Thatcher just after the IRA bombing. This is how the IRA did it. Do as we say, we'll blow somebody up. Do as we say, we'll kill that. And that's where we are. That's the position we're in. Reduce the wage of the politician. Well, is it amazing? They'll all turn up for that. But when it comes on like a cost of living thing, no, they're not interested. And the thing is, what well, actually, no, they do know this, is the fact that we outnumber them. We outnumber them. They are supposed to be our representatives. They're not. The only thing they're interested is in themselves. I mean, Jess Phillips, who's an MP, Labour MP, literally 5 minutes up the road in Yardley. Post on the internet, this makes sense, captions. Yeah. And she's posted on Twitter, oh, well, all this, and I travelled back to Birmingham on the train with all the with all the protesters, and we chatted. Bollocks, bullshit. absolute sack of crap. You're only doing that because in Yardley, if you don't appease them, you don't get in. And that's the frightening thing. We have to have a situation. The definition of terrorism: using fear to push a political agenda. Absolutely correct. That is terrorism. Spiritual beings, particular demons, have no gender. They could appear as the police, male or female. They prefer themselves to them. They sound familiar, huh? And the see, thing is, as I said, I'm not religious. Yeah, they lost the pronoun and they know it. Of course they have. I'm not religious, but I do believe in fighting in evil. Evil exists. We are now seeing it in the bright glare of the light of day. We're now seeing evil. We're now seeing what it's all about. Not religious, but I will fight against evil because I will protect my children. I will protect my family. And it comes to a stage where I have to protect my country. And that puts me at the moment on the wrong side of history, as they would say. That puts me in the wrong place, on the wrong side. And so be it. In all honesty, it feels like they're trying to kick up a civil war and divide us all up. They are trying to kick up a civil war. But the problem is we don't have enough numbers on our side to do anything about it. Good and evil, God and the devil. Either or either. I mean, as I said, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in the devil. I do believe in evil because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen what evil men can actually do to other men. And it's not a pretty sight. Yeah, those are wonderful 3:00 in the morning dreams. Yeah. And see, that's the other thing. I've seen evil up close and personal. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. So I know what evil looks like. I know what it smells like. And this is evil. And it's something needs to give and we need to start speaking up. I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it again. If you've watched these videos that I'm doing, if you watch the other videos I'm doing on YouTube as well, if you agree with what I'm saying, then say so. Actually speak up. We need more people to speak up. Jess Phillips was kicked off the Labour bench weeks ago. She's one of the first to fully appease. Of course, they like her now. Oh, yeah. Jess Phillips is an arse. She's an absolute lunatic. Unbelievable. The fraudsters ever. Back in 2019, she said, stand up with the local Muslims over them, rejected LGBT plus in the employment school. Yeah, and then shit herself when it got to come back and kicked her in the arse. No, this is the thing. They've bullied. I mean, look at there's a school teacher. I can't remember. Someone will probably correct me in the chat or later on in the comments. The school teacher, was it Batley up north? He's still hiding. Why? Because he dared talk about and blaspheme. Well, what they're called blaspheming. He's hiding, still in hiding. And then we got the woman who was dragged out with the police sat there with the Muslim imam to plead forgiveness because her autistic son dare scuff the cover of a stupid book of a made-up religion. That's wrong. It's like Klaus said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. We'll be nothing. I can hurt your job. That is the threat. Oh, I mean, that's the other thing. That's why people won't speak out because they've got jobs. They've got to do stuff. I'm in a fairly decent situation and position at the moment. But, I get more engagements on Twitter. So Facebook is hit and miss. Facebook is not even that. It's an advertising agency. Let's be brutally honest. Oh, and it's very good at giving me information 6 weeks out of date. So I barely use. I literally Facebook. I put the odd thing up and down, and then I just advertise these videos. That's it. I don't engage on Facebook much, and the odd message that comes up. I've been up close with evil. I was in terminal and the IRA blew it up. I was young and never forgive or forget what I witnessed. I was so lucky. So many went. Yeah, that was sad times of it. So you know what it is. You know what it looks like. I mean, when you've stared evil in the face, you know what it looks like. So it's very easy to spot again. It genuinely is very easy to spot again. Yeah, it is some trauma, John. I didn't know you'd gone through that a bit, man. Yeah. I feel it. Yeah. I feel that for you. I genuinely do. But at least you have the means. You've never kidded yourself on what terrorism you've seen it face. Well, this is it. This is it. It's and the thing is, um, as much as it sounds terrible, I've honestly forgotten all my music, trying to get this song heard by as many people. I just want freedom and justice. We all want freedom and justice. And if you pop on to Dave's channel, he's got a new song out. It's pretty cool, to be fair. I enjoyed it in any case. Sorry to hear about that, Dave. But then again, it's sad enough because thousands, if not millions of people are in the same boat. Unless you topple over here on a dinghy. You know, I mean, this is the thing. We need to get our own house in order. I don't give a shit. Yeah, as much as it is. I mean, some people do. No, basically, it's just old woke people. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Obviously, I know a couple of Israeli people, and those who follow me know. You know, I do know some people who live. But the simple truth of the matter is, in a choice between what's going on over there and what's going on here on the doorstep, honestly, I don't give a shit about them over there. No worries, mate. When I've got ex-servicemen that I know who haven't got a home because this country won't look after its veterans, that's what I care about. When there's old people freezing to death in their homes because they can't afford the electric bill, that's what I care about. When we have a homeless situation, that's what I care about. When I hear people who can't eat properly, that's what I care about. When I see the fact that we've got all these problems and we're sending millions in foreign aid and millions and billions to the Ukraine instead of using that money to save our situation here, that's what I care about. When I have an NHS system that is collapsing because it's being overwhelmed, that's what I care about. And the thing is, the NHS could be solved if we got rid of all it's too top heavy. Too many people earning too much money for doing nothing. People only have too comfortable lost that British foreign passion. The nation must be afraid of the mentality of it. Nice to you and I'll be nice to me. If not, realising kindness won't stop a monster. There's only one way to stop a monster, and we're all aware of that. I'm not going to actually say it live on air, but we all know how you stop monsters. I'm on Facebook, yeah. Well, post funny means cheer everybody upstate. It's dark times. It's very dark. We're in very dark and very dangerous and very, very, very scary times. And in that time, we need people to stand up, hold the light up, and say, "Look, come with me." If we have to have enemies, they've chosen decided by me, not some dummy on TV. Correct. Absolutely correct. We need to stand up. And more of you need to stand up. More of you need to get on here, get on Rumble, get on YouTube, get on X or Twitter, Facebook, not necessarily Facebook, unless you just want 10,000 ads. On every social media platform you can get on and get the message out and say, "Hi, Jack. Hello, Grizz. Agree 100% with you. Just know how will we reverse what has been orchestrated against us." It is a tough choice, Jack, unfortunately. I can see us being funneled into only one option. But this could all be solved if we got proper people in charge, people who have balls, people who speak their mind. Several times in the last few years, people have said that I should get into local politics. I agree it should only money under the guide of aid when the governments aren't using it for that at all. It's blatantly obvious. India's a big example of this. Yeah, but you send them money to build toilets in Mumbai. Well, they're sending rockets to the moon. Meanwhile, I mean, personal for me. Yeah. How is it that my mum has to shit her pants over the winter because she can't afford to keep the heating on? She's waiting to have an echocardiogram on her heart, but she's on a waiting list because the NHS is too busy. That's what we should get, ordinary bits lack of support for vets and the old, but a selfish society become the norm. Yeah, because no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. No one cares about anyone but themselves. And that's been generated by school and education. To stop monsters, we need more than harsh language. Anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, it's no good swearing at them. It's like the old one. What happens when we run out of ammunition, boss? What we're going to do is use harsh language and throw a bottle of whiskey at them. It's not going to stop them, is it? We need a meeting up outside the internet on social media. I'm trying to get gigs so we can meet and talk. No worries of it. But the thing is, that's why, as I said, that's why pubs have gone. We could march to Parliament and vote no confidence in our leaders. Yeah, the thing is, if we do that, Jack, the police will stop us. And that's the truth. We can walk up and say no vote to, they're not going to listen. Yeah, Dave, my mum's fine, but it's just like when you see that at a personal level, when I've seen people. I mean, if you watch my walking series, I was talking about a friend of mine who's had stage 4 cancer. He passed away. The reason they didn't catch it, no one checked because he was in a waiting list. And we all, some of you may or may not know, if you don't mind me saying so, John, he's got cancer. He didn't get because of COVID. Remember when we just sacrificed everybody's health for one disease? Yeah, remember that. And that's what's created the waiting list that we got now. But it's okay. It's government's fault. Everything's the government's fault. Everything's wrong. But our politicians don't care that much. None of them do. Funny that, isn't it? Of course, they don't. Everything they do is for their own self-satisfaction and gratification. The biggest question you have to ask yourself is, why does Rishi Sunak want to be the Prime Minister of the UK? The guy's rolling in fucking dough. So why does he want to be in charge? Why does he want to be our Prime Minister? Unless, of course, he's been told to do that and say this and screw us over. Just that's my point. Got to change the NSA. Don't work anymore. Oh yes, I got well done. Yes, you did get well done over by lockdown, mate. I mean, for people who don't know me and John, if you go on there, me and him have done a huge, well, mainly John because he knows more than I do. We literally did a whole series of podcasts on the every episode of Doctor Who, from William Hartnell's first one right up to the end of Peter Capaldi. And we did that because of, because John wanted his legacy to there. And it looks like at the moment, I'm touching wood, John, everything's going great. And keep my fingers crossed for the impending arrival of your little present, which will be awesome. Okay, then we've got to fight, I guess. We're going to need the next terrorist then. This is the thing. Because if we are pushed into a position where we can't do anything. Hold on, my phone's just gone off. That's just wife just checking on the dog. She's at work at the moment. That's the thing. For us to fight back, we become everything we hate. We will become what we're discussing now. And that's the problem. He wants to be in charge because he's WF. Of course, he doesn't want to be in charge. He was put there, wasn't he? He was told to. Let's be honest, everything that was going on was done on purpose. And the first vote, when Liz Truss won, because no one liked him, they stitched her up. They genuinely stitched her up, sold her down the river so they could put who they wanted in charge. I've survived 15 months so far. They gave me 3. Mate, stunned. I hope you just keep going, man. I really do. I really do. That's why I was installed. Absolutely. Now, when Liz Truss came in and they did that stupid budget that everybody went mad about, that might have actually worked. But that's not what we want. But I am living with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, indeed. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. We did 3 days, but I know in total, if you add all the podcasts together, we did 3 days. If you sit and go through them from the beginning, it'll take you 3 days to get through. Can I just, sorry, I just need to answer this message. Very unprofessional of me. So if I don't answer, I'll get a row of question marks. But yeah, so we did do 3 days. Publicise this, embarrass them. The thing is, they're embarrassing themselves. They just did live on television, even though the media are now trying to spin it any other way. You can't spin it any other way. We just saw, the whole country saw, whether you stuck your head in the sand and pretended it didn't happen, the whole country saw our politicians cower down to a violent mob. How everyone who agrees with the current system is so out of touch they live far or protected from what's actually happening. A lot of people are too scared. They prefer to keep their head in the sand, or some people don't know how to look after themselves, so they'd rather have the government them harder. Today's terrorist is tomorrow's freedom fighter. I think that's a quote. Yeah, it is. Britain needs, hello, Jade. Britain needs to become the superpower it was and always was. But we're not even that. And that's even, I mean, ex-military we were the best. Some Americans will disagree, but I don't give a shit because the simple truth of the matter is the British Army was the best. The Royal Navy was the best. The RAF was the best. Now we're third rate at best. Thanks, Adam. Thank you very much. It was again one of you and your John's podcast. Yes, you're walking to the beach straight. So thank you very much. Nice one, mate. You're welcome. They were a project of passion and love, and I hope that comes through because it was one of. I'll be honest, was one of the greatest things I've ever done on YouTube, and I love it with a passion, and I am in the process, if I ever get the time, to put it all up on actual podcastings on Apple and all that sort of stuff. But that takes a bit of time. It really was an odyssey, but it was a great odyssey, and we learnt a lot. We learnt a lot about people, and a lot of people learnt about the fact that we like discussion and we're not biased in any way. Well, we might be on a few things, but in any case, I digress. So another one that's been over an hour long. I'm enjoying these streams. The problem is, I'm not always available and able to do streams like this. Yama's going the same way as the healthcare, both rated below Uganda's at this point. Yeah, and in fact, now if you remember all the stuff that the Americans left behind in Afghanistan, actually makes the Taliban more heavily armed than us. Britain is the greatest country on earth. It used to be. We've lost the great now. It's just Britain. I mean, we used to be a United Kingdom. We're not that either. We've let all that slip away. The Western world used to look up to this country. We used to be the pinnacle, the thing to aim for. Now we're nothing. Our politicians have destroyed it. Have you all heard that the work class has been pulled out of the debt at the moment? Only starting. Well, I agree. This is something else that I'm more concerned about as well than Gaza and Israel is the massive excess deaths in the United Kingdom, which of course we're just pretending doesn't happen. As Captain Meow joins me on the side there. Hello, you all right? I just love the way that cats give you that look as if to say, "What the? Shut up, leave me alone." I'm more worried about those things. And so should our government. Our government should only really be concerned with us. You know, the people they're supposed to represent, but they're not. All they represent is how fat their wallet can get in their back pocket. That's all they give a shit about. That's all they ever care about. Genuinely, it's just, it's unbelievable. Right then, so I think we should start wrapping this up with a little bit of a summary. Terror attacks on the UK made me cry out loud. They're horrible. But sometimes you have to think, are you actually seeing what actually happened? I mean, personally, I have serious doubts on the 7/7. So a documentary on Great Yarmouth used to be a great place. Now it's a shithole. Most places are nowadays. It really is. I mean, I go on holiday to Great Yarmouth, going again. We went last year, we're going again this year. It's a lovely, brilliant seaside town. It really is, but a bit like Blackpool, it's nowhere near what it used to be. You know, when you're walking around, I mean, Birmingham City Centre, Manchester, Liverpool, London, you literally can list them. It's my homeland. Jade, I presume that means you're not here now. We are great. It is my homeland. I'm proud. I served and protected the flag of this country. That's a lie. I didn't protect the flag of this country. Yeah, let's be honest. The simple truth of the matter is, I fought and protected the guy next to me on either side. That's when it all boils down to. But the simple truth of the matter is, I'm proud as hell. I have actually got a merch store, and I've actually created a T-shirt that just says "Proud to be British" on it to counter that stupid woman who said she was disgusted to be British or whatever, and threw a metal OBE or whatever it was in a bin because she's a sad, pathetic little cow. It's unbelievable. Britain was a staple of the world, now it feels like half its stock. We are. We are, massively. You in contact with Reverend Simon Sideways, chatting to you both on stream will be a treat. Actually, I've just joined Simon's the Reverend. I just call him Reverend because to me he's the Reverend. Just on YouTube now. I'm not yet, not in contact with him. Um, but that hopefully may be coming along. I mean, I've started catching. I think I watched about 10 of his videos. God, the dude's so cool because he's like me. He just speaks the heart, speaks the truth, and doesn't give a shit. He's like Paz 49 as well. Another guy I absolutely love listening to and admire a lot. And it's because all three of us technically just don't give a shit. And the Angry Bootneck is another one. Absolutely awesome. Again, we just don't give a shit because we can't anymore. It's gone past. Don't forget, like, if you enjoy the stream, thank you, Yvette. Yeah, Sideways is good for the soul. Perhaps if people realise under Islamic war there'd be no pet dogs, there'd be no dogs, there'd be no partying, there would be no alcohol. You would do as you're told. And all you women, don't worry about trans men in your sport. Just worry about the fact that you won't have an education anymore. You will dress as you're told, and you will do exactly as I say. If I said that to my wife, she'd punch me now. But that's what you're going to have. If we don't stand up, if we do not stand up, if we do not do something, the life that you have now will be gone. It will be taken away from you right in front of your eyes. You will have nothing. And then it's no good coming to people like me because I'll be gone because I'll be dead. Because they'll come for me. They'll come knocking on my door straight away. So many our government is a tyrannical force, weaponized by our police force against us. We have to fight for our homeland. That may stir up the UK. Bring back the redcoats. Oh, if only. The police are going after people I love and I can't stand for this. Police are going for who they're told to go for. I've seen Reverends. If anyone's not seen the Reverend Simon Sideway, please go on his channel. Paz 49, Angry Bootneck. They're all great. The cat is behind you. Yeah, the cat's just gone now. I mean, there's a slight delay. To me, she's just jumped over. She's now sitting on the settee facing me, looking at me as if I've gone mad. But yeah, so I mean, I've got a pet dog. If Islamic law comes, you can't have a dog. The Harvey family loves Britain. The thing is, that's the thing. I really, really, genuinely do love my country. I genuinely love it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing because I hate it. I hate seeing what it's becoming. I hate seeing the way it's going. I'm scared because of the way it's going. I'm scared for my children. I'm scared for my grandkids. I'm scared for my wife. I'm scared for my family. I'm scared for everybody. So I'm not going to bury my head in the sand. I'm not going to pretend that this crap isn't happening. I'll be gone. I fully face that, but I hope I can. I know, John. John is just. If you go on Twitter, follow John the White. The guy's awesome, absolutely awesome. You know, and it's been a privilege and honor to get to know you. And I will pop up and see you when I get the chance, mate. All good people. Been watching them for a few years at least. Highly recommend their content. Absolutely. And absolutely. And I'm just a tiny YouTube channel, although my subs have gone up a bit. And I'm not doing that for this. I mean, some people go, "Oh, you're doing it because you're just jumping on." I mean, I've had it with if people on here will know me. I've had this sort of crap when I was just talking about a TV show called Doctor Who. And people think I'm not doing it for that. I am genuinely doing it because for the love of my country and for the love of my children and my future. That we've got to stand up, got to fight this, but we've got to get back to getting it back, guys and girls. We really have. I'm 60 years. I wouldn't be young ago. So I'm scared, to be honest. I have two sons, 17 and 21. I've actually got 7 kids in total. And my youngest twos are 11 and 8. And they're going through school now. Rich people are the best. The best don't let it be destroyed. Well, I'm going to do my best. I've gone past giving a shit now. I expect nothing less than a full afternoon gobby when it gets sunny. Absolutely, mate. In fact, we'll be probably talking sort of, I don't know, 11 till 2-ish, maybe. See how it goes. But definitely, you'll get a whole one, mate. When the sun comes out, absolutely, mate. 100%. It's time to stop giving a shit. 2 kids here, 6 and 4 months. Daz, that must hurt you even more. And I'm also sorry about your dog. I presume it's an XL bully. You know, that's another madness in all in itself. I have 0 kids. Well, you're lucky, mate. I mean, I said my eldest is, is 20, 28. I won't tell you the job she does. Um, and I've got 3 grandkids. We're also gonna have to start having babies too. Oh, you already started? Yeah, yeah, mate. I've done my. I have kids. I've done my civic duty, mate. I've turned out 5-a-side team and 2 subs. I went. By the way, just let you know, every single one of them is not woke, and every single one of them. One of them's recently got married to a chap ex-forces. Yeah, proper decent bloke. And all my kids, they get taught my way. I feel so far away, but my homeland matters so much to me. It always does. No matter where you are in the world, where you grew up, where your homeland is, where your roots are, you'll always care about it. It's just the way it is. It's just the genuine, honest thing. Yeah, and it's painful. It's painful. Indeed, dogs are a big teddy bear, wouldn't hurt a fly. The cat, even the cat bullies him. It sounds like my dog getting scared to death. Although to be fair, my cat's almost as big as my dog now because I've got well, the wife. It's the wife's dog. I'll say that it's a Chihuahua Jack Russell mix. Thanks. And the cat's bigger than it. And the dog tries to fight the cat, and it just ain't going to happen. But it's not right. I mean, let's ban a dog breed because it bites people. Okay. One's own future is a kind of sure, but the next future of my kids, friends' kids, and my younger cousins. Exactly. If nothing else, fight for them. Stand up and fight for them. We definitely need more. Yeah, a lot of us don't want our children to witness it. The simple truth of the matter is, we have got to fight for the right for them. We've got to give them a country that they're proud of, and not a country they're made. I mean, at school they're being made to feel ashamed of their country. They're made to feel that their country is evil. Every single country in this world has blood on its own hands for whatever it's done to somebody else. None of us are crystal clear or pristine. Oh, what now? Oh, okay, no worries. As for dogs, I've witnessed more aggressive I've been rescued from Romania and Greece than any bullies I've come across. The simple truth of the matter is, 9 times out of 10, it's not the dog, it's the owner. Yeah, my little Chihuahua fucking hates everything, tries to bite everything. It's just aggressive, but it's not good. Being born in Australia doesn't mean I don't care about my land and my ancestors from. Jade, thank you. I mean, Australia's not in much better position either, to be fair. The whole of the Western world is struggling. It really, really is. Right, I am genuinely going to have to bring this one to a close. I could talk for hours. I genuinely could, but time's ticking. Got to go and pick the kids up from school. In about an hour or so's time, I need to feed some sustenance inside me, and yet we're the only ones that demanding to, yeah, reparations. Yeah, of course, because it's all our fault. Everything's our fault. You know, if your life's you're too lazy, your life's shit. It's and the dealers and the dickheads that got XL bullies banned. Well, this is what I said straight away. I mean, as soon as they said about XL bullies being banned, I just said I'll just move on to another dog. Every creature on this planet can be nasty and evil if it's taught to do so. Thanks, Gobs, to take care. And you, mate, I hope you get shit sorted out, dude. I really do. Right then. With that, I'm going to bring it to a close because, as I said, I need to go and eat some stuff. I've got to go and pick the kids up. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got a wonderful trip to Asda. You have a lovely day as well. No worries. Thank you, John. Thank you, Daz. You all have a great, as I would say normally at the end of my videos, wherever you catch up with this, you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. It's been, again, a pleasure. Thanks for all of you in the chat. It's been absolutely awesome, as always. As I said, if I get the chance to do more of these live streams, I will. Just to let you know, tomorrow is Saturday, isn't it? Yeah. Shit, it is. Tomorrow, Saturday. Thanks, Carl. Nice one. Thanks, Jack. Thanks very much. Nice one, Dave. Thank you very much. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time, I'm on Wookie Fever Presents, doing a stream on there. I don't know what we're talking about. It'll probably degrade into some madness, no doubt. So I'm on there from 5 p.m. onwards in UK time if you want to join me on there. We usually talk about, oh no, whatever crap we can find to talk about, to be fair, but it'd be awesome. So with that, no worries. Thanks, John. Thanks for popping over. Right then. So I'll do the old usual spiel at the end. Don't forget to do the usual. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like and definitely share. Share this as much as you possibly can. Make other people aware that there are people who are speaking out against this. Again, that's something that's important. More important than the like and the share, the sub, to be fair, is to share this out to get people to understand that they're not alone. We have to make sure that everybody, you're not alone. Other people do think like this. If the world doesn't see you on Wookiees, awesome. Yeah, if the world doesn't end, mate, I'll see you on there, Croab. But we need to get people to know you're not alone. People do think and people are prepared to speak out. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, you wonderful mother truckers, you, I am going to love you and leave you.